in South Africa at the moment, is to attend the BRICS summit will watch Chandrayaan-3 landing via video conference from Johannesburg. This will be during the soft landing planned. The Indian Space Research Organization's Chandrayaan-3 spacecraft is scheduled to land on the lunar South Pole today at around 6:04 p.m. IST. Chandrayaan-3's success will make it the first to land on the lunar South Pole, a region whose shadowed craters are thought to contain water ice that could support a future moon settlement. Philippines has completed a resupply mission to its grounded warship on a disputed South China Sea. Now, this is amid frequent attempts by the China Coast Guard and maritime militia to block the operation. The mission comes 2 weeks after it had to abort a similar attempt when a China Coast Guard vessel fired water cannon at its boats. At least 17 labourers have died in an under-construction railway bridge collapse in India's northeastern state of Mizoram earlier today. Now, 30 other injured labourers were rushed to a hospital. Indian Prime Minister has offered his condolences over the tragic incident. The government has further announced compensation of around $2,400 for the next of kin of those killed in the collapse. The Taiwanese president has called for defense reforms as she visited the frontline island located next to China to mark the anniversary of a key military clash with Chinese forces. Tsai Ing-wen laid a wreath and bowed her head in respect at a memorial park on Kinmen Island for the 65th anniversary of the start of the Second Taiwan Strait crisis. Speaking at a luncheon after the memorial ceremony, Tsai Ing-wen said that although Taiwan is committed to maintain peace and stability across the Taiwanese Strait, it also needs to improve its combat effectiveness and resilience in national defense. A wave of scattered looting has hit several Argentinian cities in the last 3 days as unrest grows over inflation running at nearly 116%. Footage from a local television station showed destroyed shelves and food on the floor of a supermarket following the lootings. According to local authorities, 56 people were arrested for looting and attempted robberies on Tuesday afternoon in the Buenos Aires suburbs. Zimbabweans have started voting as polls have opened in the country. Many citizens are desperate for change after 2 decades of relentless economic chaos. But they are skeptical whether the ruling ZANU-PF party will allow a credible election. The president is seeking a re-election after a first term during which inflation and sky-high unemployment continued to make life miserable for the people. The cash-strapped country's chance of resolving a debt crisis that prevents it from accessing World Bank and International Monetary Fund loans is at stake. This is because foreign lenders have said that a free and fair election is a precondition for any meaningful talks on the issue. Thailand's former Prime Minister Thaksin Shinawatra was moved to hospital overnight. According to officials, Thaksin suffered from high blood pressure on his first night in jail following his historic return from self-exile. Police has said that he was hospitalized because the prison was unable to guarantee that he would get the right care. The Corrections Department said that 74-year-old Thaksin felt chest tightness and high blood pressure and was referred to Bangkok's police hospital. Thaksin made his homecoming on Tuesday and was escorted straight to jail amid a political rally where Srettha Thavisin was elected as the Prime Minister. The British government has assured $245 million loan guarantee to Ukraine for buying nuclear fuel. Kiev says that its energy system was severely damaged by Russian airstrikes last winter. Now, this has in return forced Ukrainians to rely on its aging nuclear power stations, which supplies almost half of the country's power. Other European countries have also offered financial support for Ukraine's energy sector through the Ukraine Energy Support Fund. The latest aid will bring UK's non-military assistance to Ukraine to over $6 billion. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky says that he had a fruitful trip across Europe, gathering more support for his country amid Russia's invasion. Now, during his trip, Zelensky met with leaders of the Balkan nations and the head of the European Commission. Zelensky was invited on the occasion of the 20-year anniversary of the EU Western Balkans Summit. This comes as Denmark and Netherlands agreed to provide Ukraine with American F-16 fighter jets to counter Russia's aggression. According to a new study published by the American Academy of Pediatrics, gun-related deaths among children in the United States reached 4,752 in 2021, hitting a record high. The figure stood at 4,368 in 2020 and 3,390 in 2019. As per the study, gun violence has emerged as the #1 cause of death for children in the United States since 2020. Authorities in the U.S. state of Texas have installed barbed wire fencing along the border with Mexico to keep migrants from crossing the border illegally. However, the Department of Justice has sued Texas, arguing that the installations were made without proper federal approvals and studies of their impact on public safety and the environment. The state government in recent months had also put up floating fences along the riverbanks in an effort to deter migration from Mexico. In a fatal road accident, 16 Mexicans and 1 Venezuelan died in central Mexico City after a bus collided with a trailer on a highway. A total of 52 passengers were traveling in the bus to seek legal entry to the United States. Road accidents and unsafe transport have become a leading cause of death for migrants and asylum seekers attempting to travel from Mexico's southern border to the United States. Now, this deadly collision comes just weeks after 18 people were killed when a bus carrying migrants plummeted into a ravine. Scientists have found a way to detect signs of Parkinson's disease 7 years before patients even show symptoms. This is thanks to eye scans and artificial intelligence. The technology is far from regulatory approval, but it's the latest find in a new field of research which could help people get diagnosed and treated sooner. Scientists have now trained an algorithm on hundreds of thousands of eye scans, which found retina changes indicating the presence of Parkinson's disease. Scientists say that this is an interesting find. However, the technology is years away from being widely available. A rare spotless giraffe has wowed visitors in Bright Zoo in Tennessee. The zoo believes that the giraffe calf to be one-of-a-kind specimen, since these animals are rarely born without their characteristic spot pattern. According to reports, the last known spotless giraffe was born in a zoo in Japan back in 1972. A kite festival that follows the migratory route of birds along the Black Sea coast of Bulgaria is highlighting the importance of environmental protection for important habitats. The festival follows the migratory paths of birds along the Black Sea coast and is known as Via Pontica, which translates to flying with the birds. The festival held on the Black Sea shore brought together kite lovers from the world over, eager to test their imagination and skills. Demonstrations by the international participants kick off in the early morning hours when the wind sends the unique kite models high up above the sea. Tropical storm Herald is lashing the southern tip of Texas with damaging winds and heavy downpours, leaving thousands without power. U.S. National Weather Service has warned of possible flash flooding and minor damage throughout the day. Herald is packed with 80 kilometers per hour wind speeds and torrential downpours that could amount to 15 centimeters of rain. As per the Weather Service, the storm could produce coastal flooding and also flooding along rivers, roadways, and in poor drainage areas. Wildfire smoke in Greece has turned skies smoky orange. Dozens of hospital patients have been evacuated. Authorities have said that at least 20 burned bodies, possibly of migrants, were found in northern Greece, where wildfires were burning out of control for a fourth straight day. Southern Europe has been hit by a new heat wave, with temperatures reaching or even exceeding 40 degrees Celsius in some parts. Albania is fighting a large wildfire near the western town of Lak, as the army and firefighters are trying to keep away the flames that are threatening houses. The country's defense minister has said that frontline responders and soldiers are deployed to douse the flame. However, the fire remains a challenge because of the difficult terrain. According to the Albanian police, 4 arsonists have been arrested for starting the fire. In July alone, Albania has identified and charged 14 people with starting wildfires, which is punishable with up to 15 years jail time. Wildfires engulfed several villages of Turkey's northwestern province following evacuation orders. The fires have affected Turkey's maritime traffic. Routes from the Aegean Sea to the Sea of Marmara have been suspended due to the ongoing forest fire. Turkey's Agriculture and Forestry Ministry has said that the forest fires have prompted the evacuation of 6 villages as of now. Heavy rains in central and southern Chile have resulted in the death of at least 2 people, while thousands remain stranded or have been taken to shelters. In affected areas, rescue workers used boats to help move people in flooded streets, where water levels in certain areas had reached rooftops. The country's president, Gabriel Boric, has declared a state of catastrophe. Forecasters expect more rain in the mountainous region, which can increase the chances of flooding and landslides. Authorities in the Dominican Republic have shut schools and government offices as Tropical Storm Franklin is set to make landfall today. The country has also planned to close its main international airport due to the storm. The storm is expected to cause heavy rain, mudslides and heavy flooding. At least 24 of the Dominican Republic's 31 provinces have been put under red alert. Now in business, more trouble for the European economy. Eurozone economic activity falls to an almost 3-year low in August after an accelerating decline in manufacturing spread to services. Data from the HCOB Flash Eurozone Purchasing Managers Index survey that was published by S&P Global fell to 47 in August from 48.6 in July. A figure below 50 indicates contraction.